Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel, and I'm back at Meltham Junction with the one and only wet dog FBEK.
Good afternoon.
Now you're probably thinking, why are you back there? You've already done it before. Now when I did the first video for my channel, it actually started right here at the Lockwood Junction, and I toured the whole line and I got you a lot of information in about the line. However, I found a lot more information that I didn't know, and I want to kind of include again in what I'm going to call a reboot into the lost Huddersfield lines. The line originally opened in 1867 for freight traffic, and then it opened a year later to passengers. And it had 4 stations on the line, soon to be 3. So we're going to be touring the remains of the line once again. Now there are a few things that I found out since I did my first video. So in this reboot series of the Huddersfield Lost Lines, I'm going to be showing you a few more fades, pictures and other things that I never included when I first started the channel.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate everybody that watches the channel and supports the content. I'm going to take you back to my first video and reboot the Meltham branch line. The Meltham branch line being a 3.5 mile branch between Lockwood and Meltham Station. Originally opening in 1868 to freight traffic by the Yorkshire and Lancashire Railway, passenger service commenced just less than a year later, and officially saw its last use in the mid-1960s. As shown in the original boot, with some extra features and fades, we're going to take a look and see what remains of this historical 3.5 mile branch. In part 1 of this reboot of the Meltham branch, we'll be taking a look at the old site of Woodfield Station between Butternab Tunnel and the southern portal of Netherton Tunnel.
It was the 3.5 mile long Meltham branch, which left the Huddersfield to Penistone main line at Meltham Junction. Passenger services on the former L&Y branch had ended in 1949, although DMUs continued to appear on the line for driver training or enthusiast specials. Goods traffic, particularly from the nearby David Brown tractor factory, lingered on until 1965, when the line was officially closed. Claimed to be the most picturesque branch line on the L&Y, it had 2 intermediate stations, and the largest of these was Netherton, 2 miles from Meltham. Meltham Junction lay just north of Lockwood Viaduct.
So just here you've got the single Penistone line, which runs from, well, that's going back towards Huddersfield, and you've got Lockwood Station just down there, and then you've got the Penistone line that's going all the way to Sheffield, and then this here would have been the Meltham branch. So the line, the train would have peered off just here, going through this wall. Now this is like a new wall that's been built recently, so this wall wasn't here. So just to the right here, you would have had the signal box. You've got the Lockwood Viaduct just down here, and smack bang in here you would have had the signal box just there. And then just down here, there would have been like a siding where they would have stored trains. So you can now clearly see that the junction is now covered up in veg. All these trees were grown. These wouldn't have been existing at the time of the line's operation. Just here is where you would have had the signal box. I'm going to see if we can go in here and see if we can find any remains of the signal box. I think if you just have a little look, you can just see a few little remains of a building. Some stonework, which I believe would have been part of the signal box. Just in a nice little shot of Lockwood Viaduct. You can see clearly down there, that's Meltham Road, going up towards Meltham. That actually runs alongside where the track would have ran. And you've got this metal fence here, which is new. And you've got like an older one, an original one just down there. You've got here a sleeper, so like an old broken old sleeper, still remains. And that's the junction. And now what we're going to do is we're going to head up this way towards our first railway station. We do have a few railway relics like fence posts scattered around. We've got another sleeper here and another broken sleeper. And just where that little siding was here, you can see the earth's just been kind of lifted up. So again, you would have had that line that ran across or through this bit. This would have been the main train line here. You can see the line was clearly on a really high embankment that ran alongside Huddersfield Road. All these trees wouldn't have been here. This would have all been just clear for the railway. None of these would have been here at all. It's really overgrown with, you know, ivy and stuff. Now as we head more south on the line, you can see here we've got a big retaining wall. And that's some massive refuges. And obviously these were to help support the cutting, because obviously there's some houses up there somewhere. Obviously these refuges, or recesses, whatever you want to call them, were basically used for any workers on the line to be able to back up in there as a safety while trains passed. Nice retaining walls there. And it practically goes up all the way over here. You can just see there's more refuges. Got a signal pole here, or foundations of one. It's made out of stone. I actually thought it was made out of metal, but it's made of stone. And just here we've got a cable anchor. Tell what one of those are now. See plenty of them around disused railways. Nice little find. See more of this retaining wall as it heads all the way up here. Now there is a photograph of a train parked up just here, which obviously is something that I never knew when I first experienced this line. But it's something that I'd found out by seeing this photograph. And the train is parked roughly just at the end of that wall there, looking back. So you can see the viaduct in the background. So I'll show you a picture of what it looked like. So you could just see the corner of the wall there. I think the siding would have ended just around here. And that picture will show the Lockwood Viaduct. You can't really see because of the trees. It's in the background there. That train would have been parked right there. So I'm assuming that it would have been used to store carriages, coal, things like that, just in reserve. Now originally when the line opened, it had 5 stations. Now the first one what you would have encountered was Woodfield Station. Now Woodfield Station opened and closed within a month. And the reason why is because the Board of Trade deemed it too dangerous to operate because it was on too steep of a gradient. Now just behind me here is where I originally thought that the station was. However, it wasn't. Those steps there that lead up to Beaumont Park Street were built around 7 or 8 years after the station had actually opened and closed. While I'm here though, I'll just point out a few sleepers. So there's some relics still left behind. There's a couple of railway sleepers here, and then there's a couple of railway sleepers embedded into the ground there. And then there's around 300 and odd stairs. I think it's about 364 stairs that actually zigzag all the way up to Beaumont Park Street. Well, they would have been built years after the line had opened. Now, having walked this line a few times, it's been actually hard to pinpoint where the exact spot of the Woodfield Station was. However, I found on Google now that the exact coordinates for where the station was located, and I've actually pinpointed where the platforms were. John has just spotted this telegraph pole here, which I never saw before. You see half of one there. You see it in the distance. So we just headed off the track. So what we did is we spun round here and walked under these steps. So this is the location of where Woodfield Station would have been, more that way. Now I'm second guessing that the entrance was here somewhere. I'm thinking, because just down there I want to show there's a platform. This nice little iron bridge here that goes across the line. You can see the abutments, nice stone abutments, and then this metal bridge that still survives, which is great to see. So was there an entrance in here somewhere? So this to the left here, I think you can see the platform is hidden underneath all this veg here. So this was the actual site of Woodfield Station. And I think I've been about 3 times here and had a look. And I've said it was down there, I've said it was down there, but it was actually here. This is a photograph that I'm about to show you of a train actually just leaving the station, even though you can't see the station. But there's also a bridge, a demolished bridge, which I'll show you a photograph. And it does say, as the train left Woodfield Station, you can see that bridge just in the distance. So I'm just looking at the floor here, and you can see where the ground's raised. Now apparently the station originally opened with just gas lamps. But like I said, because of the gradient, as you can see how the line kind of goes, it slopes. The Board of Trade did deem it too dangerous and unfortunately shut it. So it had less than a month of operation. You can see more remains of what I believe was where the platform would have been. And if this was the actual platform here, which I think it was, because you can see how the ground raises, it does kind of go for quite some distance here. So just leaving the site of Woodfield Station, we've got this nice cut in here. See how it's all blasted in. And just from around this section, or maybe slightly further up, we've got a photograph of a train leaving or coming this way. And if you have a look on the right there, you can see the entrance to Beaumont Park, and it's what remains of a bridge. Now, the line used to go underneath the bridge, but you can see it's been infilled and the bridge has been demolished. So I'm going to show you a picture of this train coming this way. And to the left here, there's some sort of telegraph pole. So I'm going to show you the photograph. So if you just had a look at that picture, it looks like there was a little building to the left here. Now you can't clearly see what the actual building was, but we're just assuming it was like a little hut to store stuff in. Maybe signal equipment or something, I don't know. But we're having a look at potentially some remains of a building just here, because that picture does show that there was something definitely laid around here. You can see like the foundations. Where I am, you can see how the line lifts. Now originally, if you have a look to the right, you can see that bridge I showed you in the fade. The line would have ran under here. Now, I never knew exactly what this was until I actually saw that photograph after I'd done my original boot to this series. Well, yeah, the line would have gone right under here. And then the remains of the bridge is just there. So that's the entrance into Beaumont Park, going up towards the old castle, or the castle. And there would have been another abutment on the side here, and the bridge would have crossed over. But it's now used an official route into the Beaumont Park. You can just see how it slopes up. Now I'm guessing that some of this here would have been part of that bridge, I'm guessing. And it would have gone over here. Got a little bit of information on the branch. Nice little picture there of the train coming out of the portal of Butternab Tunnel, the south portal. We've got a picture of a train coming up here. And there's some more information on the actual line. So around 1895, a local council meeting was held in Meltham, and they were waiting for the train to come back to Huddersfield. However, the train never came. So what they did is they walked all the way down the line and found the train ploughed into a lot of debris around about here in this section. And I think that's what led to the line having to then be closed, and then this massive retaining wall behind me having to be constructed. So this major piece of construction, it's got a height of about 40 feet, and the length of it's around 150 yards going south towards Meltham. So when I get up here, I'm going to show you a picture of a train actually coming round here from the exact spot where we're going to stand and show you. You can see how it goes up about 40 feet up there. And I think this is called dungeon wood cutting. So that's where we've just headed from, and we're going to be heading towards our first tunnel, which is just up in this cut in here called Butternab Tunnel. So this is the approach cutting of Butternab Tunnel. Well, it's quite a mission to get through, but we'll make it. You can see I'm just sliding a little bit, so just having to have a little gander through these trees. Whoa, it's a nice steep cutting going towards the tunnel portal. Big retaining walls here, and it is very sticky on approach. This is the northern portal of the Butternab Tunnel, and it's 256 yards in length. Now it is bricked up, so there's no going in. We have a little look at the portal. Nice beautiful portal. Nicely designed. Now a lot of the tunnels on this line were designed the same. You can just see the original arch. Looks like it's blue brick. And you can see where it's been filled in the middle. So just having a little gentle peer through, you can see how waterlogged the tunnel is as you look in, and I don't know if you can just see the gentle curve to the right that it makes, but it's clearly waterlogged. So that was the Butternab Tunnel Northern Portal. What we're going to do now is head back out of the cutting, and we're going to make our way towards the next part of our adventure, which is going to be near towards Netherton Tunnel. So we're in Netherton, so we've skipped the section between Butternab Tunnel, and we're now coming down towards a railway bridge that led towards the Netherton Northern Portal. The track bed would have headed out of the Butternab Tunnel, and you can just see the embankment here. And this is the bridge that runs towards the Netherton Tunnel Northern Portal. The portal is just up there somewhere. So just gonna have a look at the portal. So you can just see the railway bridge. We've come to the other side, and the Netherton Tunnel portal's up there. But before we do go up there, I'm gonna show you the little culvert that's down these stairs. Now it's running quite aggressively, the stream, so should be able to get a decent look at this culvert. So this is the culvert, well, the stream that runs underneath the line. Really nice and aggressively today. We've got this nice culvert here. Looks to me, you can't really see the other end. Johnny's just going to light up, so we're going to take a look. You can see the culvert roughly around 200 yards long. Absolutely brilliant. Even on a day like this, look at that. Having a nice little venture into this culvert. does start to get a little aggressive. You can see it's nice oval shape. I don't know how much I'm going to venture into here, but you can see how aggressive it's running. So back that way is the Butternab Tunnel, and you see that bridge that we walked underneath, and the culvert was just down there. We'll find our way back onto the track bed. So this is Netherton Tunnel's northern portal. So quite similar to Butternab Tunnel in terms of the structure and the brickwork or the stonework. However, both sides of the tunnel are actually in different shapes. Now, when we get to the other side, I'm going to show you why the tunnel portals are different shapes. But this is your typical oval shape, your typical horseshoe shape tunnel portal. You can just see the similarity in the stonework compared to the Butternab Tunnel. Obviously, it's bricked up and you can't go in. Now, there's a lot of internet sources that say it's 210 yards in length. However, I think it's actually 333 yards in length, and it does actually go into a straight line. See, this is the cut in here. It's quite a short one. Now, before, if you ever watched the first video that I did, you'll see that there were a tree fall here, but the tree's gone now, so they must have moved it since I did the first boot of the series. Can you see the cut in here? So we just had a look at the Netherton Tunnel northern portal. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head towards where the Netherton railway station was. Now, when I went last time, it wasn't how it looked. So there's a new housing estate that's been developed on the site of Netherton station. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at what it looks like now and see what remains of the station. I'm going to also have a look at the southern portal of the Netherton Tunnel.